Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel, and today's video is about something that people often find tricky, which is budgeting. If you're new here, I'm Alice, a chartered accountant, and I love talking about all things personal finance and personal development. I'll also share a breakdown of how I manage my money. It's a simple Excel spreadsheet, and I'll leave a free link in the description box below for you to download it. You don't need to buy any of these fancy budgeting apps. You don't need to buy any of these Excel templates. I will give you it for free. And we're not just talking about a monthly budget. It's more important to do an annual budget. Just let's face it, life doesn't just happen in 30-day chunks. So let's break it down step by step. What is budgeting? Why should we budget? A budget is a plan for your money, a way to track your income and make sure that your expenses do not exceed your income. It's a place where you can plan what you invest, what you spend, what you save, and you can plan for your future accordingly. Some common excuses I hear is number one, oh, I can't budget, I'm a freelancer. Or number two, oh, I have big random expenses throughout the year. But none of these should stop you from budgeting. You should do an annual budget based on a prediction of what you think you're gonna earn and what you think you may need to spend. And of course, you can include buffers for those expenses that are unexpected. Most people think about budgeting month to month, but it's actually better to budget annually, and here's why. It allows you to plan for large expenses like insurance premiums, holiday gifts, or vacations, smooth out irregular income if you're a freelancer or have side gigs, reduce financial stress by knowing what's coming up. So instead of getting hit with a surprise bill in December, you will already know what's coming up. You'll already have that money set aside. Sounds good, right? Let's break it down. So here's how I break down my budget. Income, fixed expenses, essential costs, fun expenses, debt, savings and investments. Each of these categories plays a vital role in how I manage my money and also in my financial plan for the future. So let's start with income. This is the most straightforward part of the budget. In here is where I put my salary. So these are not real numbers because I'm not ready to disclose that information right now. This is an example. If you were to make €4,000 per month, or pounds or dollars, and in here I am writing salary and pension and ESPP, which is an investment in my company shares, because the pension and ESPP is added on to here. So my salary is actually 3,600, for example, with 200 for pension and 200 for SPP. But I add it in up here so that I can add it in below as well, and to show how much I'm actually investing. Okay, and then I add bonus. So this will be in April and October. You can also add other things in here, such as dividend income, side hustle income, so forth. Maybe you sell things online. Anything else that comes to you. Okay, this section here is living costs and travel costs, and these are my essential costs. So here we have rent, which is 900 per month, food and groceries. So if I share this with my partner, it'd be 300 per month, so I pay 150 towards that. My share of the bills is €50 per month, €20 for the Wi-Fi, and 15 for my mobile phone bill, which comes to 1,135. My travel costs, I don't have a car, so I pay 20 for a bus and about €40 for an Uber. Then going down to fun costs. I have my gym, and I know that this increases in March, so I have included that increase there. I have reformer Pilates classes, I have paddle classes, and I have Spanish class. I give myself 150 for socializing and events. I give myself 100 for eating out. I also have a ticket restaurant. Let's move that. I also have a ticket restaurant card, so that also contributes towards eating out, so I only need 100 for that. Clothing and toiletries. This changes throughout the months, and I'll show you why below. Miscellaneous. I always leave 200 per month for miscellaneous. This can be surprise expenses or something that doesn't really fit into other categories. Therapist, so sometimes I see a therapist, but I get a discount through my insurance, so I only pay 28 per month. And then my Apple and Disney plus subscriptions. Then I go down to debt costs. I don't have any debt. I just have my student loan and I have to pay €200 per month towards that. I think it's about £180, so that's about €200 in my budget. And then you can see here my monthly expenses and my monthly income. And then what is my net monthly income after those expenses. And now the rest is to save and invest. So we go down here and it depends on your goals. So for example, I have savings for a house, I have gifts sinking fund and a holiday sinking fund. So I always think it's a good idea to put money aside for holidays and gifts throughout the year rather than paying them outright. It could get to December and you've got a lot of gifts to buy and you're panicking because you don't have enough money in 1 month's salary. So I like to save for this each month. So I do 50. So when it comes to Christmas, I have 600. Holiday sinking fund, I've got quite a lot here. That's about 5,000. I've got quite a few trips coming up. And then I also have under investing, the pension and shares that I mentioned before, and then index funds investing. And as you can see, in the months where I get a bonus, I include a higher amount for my index funds and also for my savings. And these are in the months where I get a bonus. So I am distributing that bonus as I go through the year, how I want. So I treat myself a little bit. I give myself, this needs to change. I give myself 300 more to spend on clothing or toiletries, maybe skincare. And then I give myself more for savings for a house and then more for investments. And then here at the bottom, I see what is left over. And this is a good way to manage. So now, for example, I think, okay, in January, I have 361. Okay, maybe I need to put some more in miscellaneous because I have some expenses coming up. Maybe I need to pay a sign-up fee for the gym. So maybe that would be 179. And then you can see where we're at. And this is really great as well because you can see in those months where you get a bonus, how much you have to put towards other categories. And then I like to have this at the bottom. So I have total income, total expenses, total savings and investments, and then total cash flow. So if that's negative, then you need to make more money or you need to reduce your expenses. And if it's positive, then you can put more into your investments and more into your savings. And then here I like to just have a quick percentage at the bottom just to show how much percentage is going towards essential costs, fun costs, savings and investments, and debt. And note the guidelines are that we should be putting about, I think it's 50% towards essential costs, 30% towards fun costs, and 20% towards savings investments. So I can see here I'm doing pretty well. This is not my real salary, by the way. So this may not be true, but my expenses are real. So in this case, I would be saving 30%, which is higher than recommended. Fun costs are in line and my essential costs are much lower. My essential costs are less than 50% in real life, and that's because I don't have a car and I don't have a mortgage. So I simply rent an apartment with my partner. I don't have a car. I don't have kids, so my essential costs are much lower. And that's why I want to use a large part of that to invest in index funds and to save to travel while I can, save for a house. I think I could probably increase this a lot more. And therefore, I will be more on track with my goals. Let's add that in. We can see we still have some money left over. Sometimes it's okay to leave that in here, as again, emergencies might come about, or you might want to roll that money over to the next month. But I always recommend trying to get it to zero if you can and kind of making sure you fill all categories. So that's my budgeting breakdown for the year. Hopefully this gives you a clearer picture of how I budget my expenses. Remember, budgeting isn't about restricting yourself. It's about giving you the freedom to save, spend on the things that matter to you. And you can enjoy life without stressing about money, because life is meant to be enjoyed. Tracking your expenses. This is an essential part of the budgeting process, especially when you get started, because you want to know if your categories are on track. You want to know if you're assigning the right amount of money to which categories and that you're not leaving yourself short. So some banking apps, for example, will do this for you. So on my American Express, I can download the statement, on my Santander as well, and sometimes it will put them in categories for you, which might make it a little bit easier. And then I would take a copy of the spreadsheet that I just showed you onto a new tab, and I would put in each month exactly what I spent on those items. And then you can track and see, okay, this category, I spent a lot more than what I expected, but in this category, I budgeted 200 and I only spent 50. So you can adjust and readjust as you go along. I would do this for a minimum of 3 months, and then you can see how you go, and then you will have your budget finalized and you can actually see how accurate it's going to be going forward. Overall, tracking your expenses helps you to be aware and control your finances. It helps you set and stick to a budget. It helps you reduce debt and increase savings. It helps you to prepare for emergencies. It helps you to achieve your financial goals. And it identifies unnecessary expenses. So there are the benefits of budgeting. I really hope you try it out. Please let me know in the comments down below if you do. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below letting me know if you downloaded the budget